Hey, what's going on? Real Talk with JJ, and it's a hot, sweaty day, and you're gonna look at me and be like, can you just show the tree, Jim? Because I'm a bit sweaty because it's hot here in the Northeast, but it's beautiful. I'm in the shade. I don't know if you can hear the birds with my fancy mic because it cancels everything out, but I'll just dub the birds in. Just kidding. But this is a really cool view, and it's there is a breeze. It's actually pretty beautiful, and I don't want to jinx myself, but usually with this kind of weather we get horse flies of madness. I wanted to bring something up that I think is really intense for certain personalities and people who are trauma survivors. So I don't need to dig about my trauma. I've done enough of that digging, and this video is not for that, but I bring it up right away because if you're someone that just needs a little video of someone talking about the weather or even unfortunate stuff, but it's more global than just narrowing it on you, you've been warned, because this video is about you and me, and it has to do with the phrase of letting it go and not being able to let it go. And I wanted to bring this up because in our society, I don't really think mental health is accepted. According to my doctor, it's just getting recognized now, and that really sucks. I just wanted to bring up a few things that I've gone through, and I'm very proud to say I'm a trauma survivor. I do a lot of work, and this is why we're in the woods. This is why I'm showing views, because that helps me. When I'm talking about trauma, I'm not talking about maybe you have a car repair or something. It's deep stuff. And what happens is there's scientific evidence to this. There's CAT scans. There's just more and more articles on this. We're talking about what happens within the brain. And sometimes we get provoked, and what happens is our brain misfires. And I hate to put myself down, but by the way, Jim, I'm 53. I know about this stuff because I've been living it for a long time. And I've done a lot of work. So I'm not a doctor. I'm too creative. But what happens is if you're a trauma survivor, it not only affects your brain, but it's your body, it's anxiety, and you are preparing to deal with another trauma. So I don't know the parts of the brain, but I do know that you can get stuck. And when you're dealing with this, what's the worst thing is when someone, a good friend even, if they say, that happened 6 months ago, you need to get over that. Wait, are you talking about your childhood? That happened a long time ago. Just move on, just dust it off. All right, so we can't get mad at those people, but if you do, I get it, because I've been there. They have no idea. They have no idea about a brain injury. And this is what I'm talking about. This is a very intense video that I need to make, and I'm hoping it will help someone my age, older, younger, in particular younger people, because this is not always taught. This is how I've survived, and I have had, since 2023, I had an awful re-traumatization, and I don't know if I'm seeing the light, no pun intended, but I'm definitely seeing more light. I'm aware on how my brain gets stuck. So there are some steps that work for me. One of them is, could be the 53-year-old guy talking, I nap. I think I hear someone coming, which would be kind of awkward, but, and I nap for 15, 20 minutes. I hydrate as much as I can. I also just mentioned, this isn't your fault. You're a good person. I try to list some of the things that I've done that's positive. The other one is doing exactly this, talking, being out in nature. I love the ocean. I'm very grateful that I can get to the ocean by vehicle. So whatever works. I love ice cream. Right now I'm not beating myself up. I've gained some weight, but because of the re-traumatization, there's that. The other thing that I found, it is hard to talk about because when we're in pain, we want to share, we need to reach out. If you can afford it, counselor. Not everyone's going to want to hear some of your stuff. It's going to be too intense. Not everyone's going to really understand and be like, you're just doing this for attention. It's a brain injury. Your brain is wiring differently because it's learned how to survive, and it's doing what we call trauma response. I've also learned this, and I'm very sensitive to this, and I have to be careful. One of them is how you want to obsess on your trauma. And I bring up the word obsess lightly, but it can come across that way. I've learned enough to dance with all my issues, and I won't obsess versus I will do something about it. So I'll contact Lori, it's fine, I can say the first name, my therapist. And by the way, if you don't like your therapist, try another one. And that right there, being 53, saying therapist, gives like a stigma or a labeling. That's crazy. And yes, some people try different therapies, but you don't give up. You keep trying things. So one of the things you want to do is learn how to manage. So I shared about sleeping, napping if you can. It could be video games, movies, maybe vlogging like this. There's a lot of big groups through social media, from Facebook. There's, if you want to go on the TikTok route, there's a lot of different algorithms there, or YouTube. It's hard to say today's a good day, so I can say this. Don't be ashamed. It's not your fault. We are living in a society where there's a lot of superficialness, and that hurts. So I went because I just caught a little grazing of my brain going into an area, which I'm not going to let it go to today, but I am going to say this. The hardest thing you'll deal with is not just the trauma, not the re-traumatization, but how people will look at you. And you have to find your people. Not everyone's going to see your heartache, whether it's CPTSD or PTSD. They're not going to get it, and they might even think it's a scam. You're doing it for attention. That's hard, especially when you're trying to heal. I have a good friend. He said, Jim, I don't know. For me, I'm like, okay, see ya. And I say, I'm jealous of you. I can't do that. And if they knew deeper why, but what I can do is phrases like, nope, not today. I'm not inviting that on the walk. Or when I first got therapy decades ago, and this is a phrase that a lot of survivors will say, it's not happening now, I'm safe. It's not happening now. Remember, you've done nothing wrong. Survivors unite. I'm proud of all of you. Get help. Be okay. Have ice cream.